The Kafue Child Development Agency works in Lusaka province and specifically in two districts of Kafue and Chilanga. And across the two districts, we have more than 5,000 children that are being taken care of by the project.
KCDA is a child and youth-centered organization that works with ChildFund to take care of children in communities as well as the families in which these children live.
We implement activities in partnership with ChildFund Zambia. And we're currently in Wakame community, which is one of the areas that Kafue Child Development Agency operates in.
The Community Adaptation to Alternative Sources of Energy project incorporates several interventions that the Kafue Child Development Agency implements in the area. The CAASE project aims to ensure that children are relieved from looking for firewood on behalf of their families to concentrate on education.
Once upon a time, before the biogas project came in our community, we used to receive reports from teachers saying, "Why are the children coming late?" Because we were sending them for firewood.
In this rural area, families depend on firewood and children are involved in collecting firewood. This exposes children to a variety of risks and dangers.
When a child was going late to school, he or she was left behind. And this contributed to poor grades.
Kafue Child Development Agency envisions a world where children are safe and secure. So being safe and secure means that we look out for the well-being of each child. And we want to make sure that the environment in which they live in is conducive for them to thrive. They should be at school in that time, but they are found collecting firewood in the bush. And when we look at our aim to have children educated and confident, we feel that that goes against what we want to do.
We had many challenges like going in the bush, looking for firewood at a long distance.
Chenzeli difficult kupeza malasha. The reason why nkamba chenzeli difficult kwa menetenzo ndosa kila malasha ni kutali. Kuchoka pano kutitende tikapeze malasha kwa zofunika using sa transport senze yo cheaper yai. Yapesi ka chenze yo dola. Nazo nkuni tezo enda kutali, sometimes ngatwatuma mwana mngono abgera na panjila na kumala na njo, kumala na voyo ofya. So kwa ise bakazi teka kuyenda zupeze kati ni challenge. Tezo yopa unga kumane na okupaya, unga kumane na okule pinga. So manje pantila mba using isa ichi chintu. Chankalangati life jamine ze difficult kuli ise ya pepuka.
So pezeka sometimes ma weekends ya jakti tika tipumuleko like pa nyumba, maybe we can study or doing other things like home activities. Pezekati tienda kufuni from morning paka kumazuru. Sometimes we used to go at school without washing because we always being busy collecting for firewood.
And then we also see a danger where our children will not easily adapt to climate smart initiatives because we are teaching them that it is okay to cut down trees.
We realized that this specific community, like many other communities in Zambia, were facing challenges in terms of power generated for cooking. Their dependency mostly was on firewood and charcoal, which means that it enhances the cutting down of trees and also depleting of forests.
Ingatandizile bantu wambili ngati kunkani mungane using uzingila nkuni hapa na malasha. Ndaba kuchoka mwetina mbo uzingila ichi chintu. Tinaona malasha stia uzingisa pafupi olonkuni sti sakira ngati paja kudala iya.
So this project was meant to counteract the deforestation and also provide alternative energy to the families that are affected.
Currently, it's a pilot project. 10 families were slotted to benefit, but at the moment, 5 have got these things complete. Almost 4 are in operation now, working very well.
So the 10 families were selected on the basis of being farmers and also of having some animals, because we do understand that it is important for the raw material, for the biodigesters to be readily available. So the raw material in this case is cow dung.
This technology actually provides a lot of benefits. As you know, the gas produces a little smoke and it's cleaner than firewood and charcoal.
When you use charcoal, you use firewood. That smoke, again, is a risk to health.
When you look at firewood and the emissions that come from the fire when firewood is being used for cooking, you do realize that the majority of cooks in Zambia are women. And usually they would have young children with them as they are cooking. And these emissions that are coming from the firewood, they may pose lifelong threats to a child.
By using biogas, all that is now out.
This project can also enhance livelihoods in the sense that the bio-slurry can be used for gardening as an immediate use of the byproduct, but also initiatives can be centered around drying the slurry. The fertilizer can be dried and packed, and then also sold by our own women, even outside this area.
The slurry, when mixed with water, it's a proper level, the same water you can spray the vegetables. It can scare away insects. And then at the same time, be applied as fertilizer.
We see this project expanding. We know that in some areas it's possible to produce gas, purify it, and use it for generation of electricity using a genset.
I think ngati batimangirako biogas ikulu as a village mu community mutinga chiteko vintu vambiri futi vosiyana siyana.
These smaller ones are already showing that if we have a bigger one where families can put together the dung and then use it for light, it's possible. The majority wanted this project to at least grow faster so that the community can benefit.
Because right now, the gas being produced is more at subsistence level. That will be made possible if we can have communal kraals where more families in the community can keep their cows there so that we have more dung.
Tingapezemo na nchito muli vamene after bamanga ngati tachitako produce vintu vinango ngati bamanga vija vintu. Maybe tingangeleko na manchito tingachiteko introduce to mababa shops auti tigazipeza tundrama tungono togererako.
Our goal has been to empower youth and create opportunities for their employment. And we hope that they'll also go on to cascade the skill because we're interested in the transfer of skills.
We might, with the help of the community, come up with a big area where people can be keeping the cattle so that it's easier for the families to collect dung in the morning. This would be a lot of dung that would be in one place. This place could also be used for vaccination of cattle. It could also be used for treatment.
When we have the communal kraals, we anticipate that there will be creation of employment for our youth because the kraals will require some security so the youths can come on board.
The place where you have a kraal could also be a place of interaction and a place of business because you could also add water to it. And when water is added, then the communities would be able to develop gardening from the same places where they would be able to harvest vegetables for consumption as well as for sale, which would contribute to the income of the families.
So we're looking at how all communities can adapt. And if our youths are involved in these new technologies that we're bringing on board, I think it's progressive involvement. And this is a skill that they'll move with for the rest of their lives and pass on to their children as well.
The Community Adaptation to Alternative Energy Initiative is already making a meaningful difference. Real families are embracing the shift to clean energy, marking the beginning of a transformative journey. Watching the transition from the use of wood to natural gas is inspiring, but the journey has just begun.
Kumbukira madeza kuyaya pamene kwenze libe ichi chintu tenzovutika choka chepe chinabwirira chintu ichi chatinkalira ize vana ku maskulu kuwapikira tichita fast stivutika motezo vutikira kudala.
kali tikafunenda skulu tite pika bega ma first basanzo kali first kajagantu.
The impact of this such a project is immense on a large scale because it goes to prevent the cutting down of trees. And as you know that the cutting down of trees also contributes to climate change, which is affecting Zambia currently.
As you can see, we still have some firewood in there, which still shows that we're still transitioning. So the beneficiaries are in transition. What we hope for is for all the families to finally stop using firewood and get on board using gas. Families, including the entire community. But this can only be made possible if we increase the gas production.
So we're yet to see if this thing will continue for many years to come.